Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. 520-9710. 888-520-9710.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
On Free FM.
Free FM, Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Well, if the morning show had a vagina, here he be.
Danny B.
I'm not exactly sure how to take that.
I'm kidding you, Danny.
Oh, I have a vagina. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how to take it.
Hey, baby.
Before was as full of penis in there.
I see how that works. Okay, so I've been listening to your show, funny as always.
Thank you.
And by the way, just so you know, commercial fisherman has been the #1 deadliest job in the world for the past 7 years in a row.
What a great show, that Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, that's what they show. But I mean, cops don't even make the top 5. Commercial fisherman has been the deadliest job in the world for years.
Is that the deadliest and the lowest paying job, too?
No, it actually pays real. You can catch nothing. I had a friend who did it. You can catch nothing, but a proper tuna can be $80,000. One tuna.
And you know this because...
I have a friend who was a professional fisherman all over the world. That's what he did.
The amazing thing about Danny is no matter what the subject is or what it is at hand, Danny knows about it.
He's amazing.
And he was calling about Joan Jett, because I guess you've had some experience with Joan.
Well, yes, actually, that's what made me call, but it took me so long to get through. I now want to talk about 700 things. But I'll stick with Joan Jett. And here is why I can tell you she is gay.
She is?
Yes, she is.
I
will tell you how I know this.
How do you know?
Because I slept with her and she didn't like it much.
Well, that could have been any random straight girl.
Maybe just weren't any good.
How do you know she didn't like it that much?
My wife is not gay, and I have sex with her, and she doesn't like it much.
See?
It's two different matters. One, I know Joan is gay because I didn't know anybody didn't know. I just assumed everybody knows she's out.
Right.
She's not hiding that she's gay.
So do you believe the whole Carmen Electra, Joan Jett couple thing?
No, Carmen's not gay.
Right.
You know,
publicity.
I'm one of those guys that believes that all chicks are just the right bottle of wine away from a girl-on-girl experience. But Carmen Electra is totally not gay.
So, Danny, when you slept with Joan Jett, did you at that time know that she was a lesbian and you tried to see if she'd be interested in a man, or was she...
Not only did I not know she was a lesbian, she didn't know she was a lesbian. She was 15, and I was either 15 or 16.
So you turned her into a lesbian.
You know what? Jodie Foster played my first girlfriend on The Partridge Family. It may be me.
So you were with Joan Jett before she was even the famous rock star she was in the very early 80s.
I knew Joan Jett when she was the minor rock star bass player in the Runaways.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You go way back then.
So who approached you?
I used to play in a little tiny club in the Valley for kids called the Sugar Shack at Magnolia and Whitsett. It's now a dry cleaners. And we did it in my friend Jim's van in the parking lot in the back. And you could tell there was something about her, but the Runaways were 15 and 16-year-old girls that performed pretty well in little panties and garters and bustiers. And you could just tell even then, to look at Joan, she just didn't fit. There needed to be some flannel somewhere.
Do you think, Danny, is it possible that when she was having sex with you, she was in her mind fantasizing about Shirley Jones?
I think...
You were as close as she could get to Shirley.
I think, honestly, we're really, really young. I don't know what age she decided I am fully gay. I think she was probably fairly aware of it. But, this is not very complimentary to myself. But if I'm 15, I think what she's thinking is, I can't believe I'm boning Danny Partridge. Which I can't tell you how many people have thought that. People have actually said it to me while we were doing it.
I get Wilfred Brimley a lot, but that's...
I've had sex with women. I've met a girl in a club or something, come home with her, and we're making out, and we start doing it. And all of a sudden, they'll say, it's so weird. I can't believe I'm doing it with Danny Partridge. Like, hey, just moan a little and shut up.
So whose idea was it? You're at the club, you're at the Sugar Shack, and you said, hey, Joan, do you want to go out in my friend's van?
I'm 47 years old now. You are aware of pretty much where I have been and what I have done.
Yeah.
You're probably a more accurate witness to my life than I am.
Yeah.
So that means you have no idea how you got in the van.
That's essentially true, because my guess is it was her idea, because until I was no longer the guy from the Partridge Family, I never asked a girl to do anything. They asked me. I'd just be standing there minding my own business, and I'd just, you know, you got to remember how important that show was back then. There were only 3 channels. The best way to explain it is, what's the biggest phenomenon on TV today is American Idol. And it gets 30 million viewers, which is unheard of. Friends would get 23. Partridge Family had 40 million viewers every Friday night.
More than the Mod Squad or Time Tunnel.
Well, there's only 3 channels to pick from.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't really have a choice. So it was a big deal, so I didn't ask any girls to do anything. So my guess was it was her idea, but I don't really remember that.
But back then, because obviously now you look worn and rough and obviously manly and macho. But back then, did you look more like a Butch Dyke?
No, I was until the last couple of years. I got thin a couple of other times on the Miami diet and those kind of things.
Yeah.
I went on the Hollywood cocaine diet a couple times and got real thin. But it costs you about $8,000 a pound in all your dignity. So it's really not a diet I would recommend. But aside from that, I'm basically a fat guy.